For more than 30 years, Neil Diamond lived what many now describe as a quiet double life, carefully balancing the image of a powerful, confident performer with a deeply private reality that few people were allowed to see. To the public, Neil Diamond was the unstoppable hitmaker behind timeless anthems, selling out arenas and commanding stages with ease. Behind the scenes, however, he was managing long-term physical and emotional challenges that he intentionally kept out of the spotlight, believing that revealing too much would distract from the music itself. This unspoken divide between public strength and private struggle became a defining feature of his later career, even as fans remained largely unaware. Neil has since acknowledged that he compartmentalized his life for decades, separating the performer from the man in order to survive the demands of constant touring and expectation. While rumors occasionally surfaced about his health or personal life, he remained disciplined in protecting his inner world, choosing silence over speculation. According to those close to him, this decision was driven not by shame, but by a fierce desire to remain seen as an artist first, not a condition or a headline. As the years progressed, the physical toll of performing began to intensify, requiring Neil to adapt in subtle ways that fans rarely noticed, adjusting stage movements, shortening rehearsals, and leaning more heavily on routine and preparation. Emotionally, the weight of carrying this hidden reality grew heavier, particularly as he aged and reflection replaced ambition as his dominant motivator. When Neil eventually spoke publicly about his Parkinson's disease diagnosis, the revelation reframed decades of behavior that now made sense in hindsight. Fans realized that what they once interpreted as artistic restraint or mystery was often careful self-preservation. Neil admitted that he had been living two parallel lives, one defined by applause and celebration, and another shaped by discipline, vulnerability, and quiet resilience. He shared that keeping the diagnosis private allowed him to continue creating on his own terms, but it also came at the cost of isolation. Relationships, he revealed, were sometimes affected by the emotional distance required to maintain that separation. Despite this, Neil continued writing and recording, channeling his inner battles into lyrics that carried deeper introspection and emotional gravity. Many of his later works now resonate differently, heard through the lens of a man confronting limitation while refusing to surrender identity. Neil has emphasized that the most painful part of the double life was not the illness itself, but the constant effort to appear unchanged in a world that resists aging. When he finally stepped back from touring, it wasn't a defeat, but a conscious choice to reunite the two halves of his life into one honest narrative. His decision to speak openly brought relief, closure, and an unexpected sense of freedom. Looking back, Neil Diamond's 30-year double life was not built on deception, but on endurance, a long, quiet act of self-management that allowed him to give audiences joy while privately navigating his own reality. Now that the truth is known, his legacy feels not diminished, but deepened, revealing a man whose strength was never just in his voice, but in his perseverance.